Hi there, my name is Nyako. Welcome to OB Studios. Today I'll be using Adobe XD and Elementor's new feature to create an amazing design that you see on my screen right now. So this is a pseudo cashew nut products that I created, and then I used Adobe XD. So let me show you the XD file. So this is Adobe XD. You can see the file on the side. So I use Adobe XD with, I'm going to use this same design that I have in here, and I'm going to translate the design and develop it with Elementor's new container feature. So without wasting much time, let's get started. First and foremost, I have already exported. There's one thing that is missing, which is this. But I've already exported my files that I'll be using for the design already. And if you don't know what XD is a design tool created, made by Adobe. So if you have Adobe, if you have the full plan, you might have this also in your plan. You can check it out. It's really an amazing tool. You can use it to design prototypes, wireframes, so on. I know that recently Elementor released a wireframe feature. I haven't tried it yet, but XD is good. And if you're looking to create designs, you can start from here. So without wasting much time again, I think I showed you already how the design looks like. I already made it, but I'm going to go through again and I'm going to make it again for you to see how I go from XD straight into Elementor. I'll show you my assets. So go to the media. So these are the assets that I'll be using. This is the pouch. I exported the pouch with the backgrounds and everything already. There's an arrow that I'll be using, and then these are the stuff that I'll be using also for beautification purposes. So that is that. So let's head to our page. So this is what I created already. So I'm going to delete everything and we're going to start from scratch. So this is the heading. Even if I'm going to leave just the heading over there, and then I'm just going to make the design. So let's take this one out. Okay. So the design is gone, just left the heading. So first and foremost, I have two layers. Sorry, I have two containers that I'll be using. So I'm going to take the two containers and let's start. So let's go back into SD. We're going to start from this. Let me hide that because it's on top of it. I'm going to start from the free shipping. First, let me lay out. I have this. I have 3 text items. So I'm going to lay these 3 text items, and then I'm going to give them the right properties. That's a div. That's an H1. That's also probably an H2. So I'm going to leave that like that. And then we also have, so 1, 2, 3, and then this button. So let's look for a button. So that's a button, and then the button also has this arrow feature. So for the button, I'm going to use another container to create the button. So let's put a container here. I'm gonna let you know why I'll be doing that when it gets to that. That's the button, and then I'm gonna add an icon. I already made an SVG of the icon, so I'll replace that with that. The other side of the design has the ratings. I think we can make use of whatever is here, but I'm gonna just leave that over there. Then we can say, okay, we have a rating system. So the rating system will also be in its own container. So let's look for stars. Okay, I'm going to put these stars over here. Then we need a text for the styles. So that is that. And then we also have this icon and text. So I'm going to use the icon list feature for this. This shouldn't be in there. It should not be in this container. So I want to take it out, put it outside. If anything, we bring it down. Okay, so these are mostly what we need to create the site. I'm gonna just put the background behind it. So let's pick that. So that's the background, and make sure that the background is centered center. This is cover. Then we're gonna make, when you go into XD, in XD, this whole board is 1005. So we're gonna go here. So 1005. I'm bring the calculator. Minus 90. So that's 915. So let's go back into XD, and then for the height, we want to put 915. So that should be that. Okay, so now you put all your items in here. Just make sure that okay, make sure this is just a div. This is also just okay, this doesn't have anything, but we need only one. Yeah, so for me, when I'm designing, I make sure that I put every item that I need over here. So then I start designing it. So this looks more like a little wireframe, but not too much of wireframe, because I already have everything laid out in XD. So let's start from the top. So here we're going to copy the text. So this one, the text is 16 in the medium. Come here, 16 medium. So put 16 over here. You can choose 14. So 400 for that. Next, then we can style that. You can say has a background. So probably let's put a padding of 10. Then the background should have a color. So what is the color for the background? There's the color. So copy the color. Then we give it to the background. So that is that. As you can see, this is full width with the new Elementor feature. So you can just go in and say custom, and then you can just stretch this as long as you want. I'll say, yeah, it has a little thing in front, so like that. And then we have border radius 4. Looks like that's the top right. So 25. So that's the first. So we've finished designing this. That the next one is the hero text. So there's a hero text. Everything comes in like that. Then you're gonna come here, break this one down, break this one down. So you see when you click, Elementor already gives you the breaks. So you can go in and say how much is this text. This looks like a 94. So let's see, 94. That's good. Uppercase, nice. And then probably there's a 900. Okay, this is a bit big, so let's try 86. Works fine. Great. Next thing over here is this text. This text is 24. Okay, so 24 there. I think 24 is a lot. Yeah, 24. It's too big. I'm gonna do 18, and then I'm gonna change this one to 400. This has a break after the cashew, so we're gonna come in here. Okay, come, bring this one, and then we break it. Let's deal with. We're gonna use EM for the line height, so 1.2. That. We use also EMs for this. Come in here. Let's say 1.2. Give it some breathing space. Okay, so we're done with the first two. That, this, no. So that's the first 3 texts. We're done with that. Now let's deal with this. So here we have what's the text? 32. Okay, so 32, and then we have this border and then this icon. Okay, so let's design this first. So come here, go to style, make sure this is white, make sure the text is black. Let's go and grab the text from here, put that over here. So text is 32. Okay, let's put some good pattern on it. Sorry, the pattern should be in the styling. So let's say 20. Great. What else? It has a border, so that's fine. Solid border. It looks like a 1, so that's a 1. There's no radius on it. Okay, I think the one on the right should go away. Should be 0, so that one is gone. Now let's style this. We already have our SVG icon here. I'm gonna bring it in. Change this one to probably a 20. 25. What? Yeah, okay, they're doing 23. So let's say 23. So 23, and then we go in, we look for the background. Background color is what? Copy it. Background color is that. Let's give it some pattern. The pattern over here is 20. So let's go to 20 pattern. And then we're gonna do the same thing. Okay. Before, as you can see, the reason why I added this container here and I didn't put it into this container is that I want this two to be on the same, that's on the same level, but I don't want these ones. So let me show you. I'll show you that you understand. So here shows that everything is going from top to the bottom. You can change this and say this, then everything will start going from this side, from the left hand side to the right hand side. You can still deal with this. You can say, okay, this should be custom to 100, then everything will be 100, but then you have to add a wrap and so much other things. So I don't want to deal with that. I don't really want to deal with that. So what I did was to give it two layers, two containers, and then within that 2 containers, the first container will house the text and other stuff like that, and then the second container will also house this. So in this container, you don't want this direction, you want your direction to be a row. See? And then you also want this to also be in the center. See, your icon came to the center already. And after that, you see this space, don't use margin to close it. There is an already, when you look into element gap, there are gaps in between them, so you want to close that to a 0. We didn't add our border yet, so we're going to come so our border is solid. Okay, no, that is the container, sorry. So there's it. Let's look for our border, which is a solid. So let's put 1. Then all right, it's coming out nicely. So we want to go back and give it one more pattern. Good, and let's save it. All right, I think one more will do. Okay, it's coming up, but it looks like the bottom needs. Or is it the top? It's like that. Let me see what happens with that. All right, everything looks good now. Okay, so as you can see, when you go back to XD, it has a curve. So we're gonna add a curve to, let's look for the border. This should be on the bottom right. Oh, the bottom left. No, it's just be on the bottom. It should be over here. So we save that. All right, so we have finished probably the first part of it. We still need to finish this one, and then, but as you can see, the design is on top here. The design is in the middle. So if you want to bring the design into the middle, you click on the container, you come down, you look for alignment. So this one is start. This already at the start, so nothing's going to change. When I click on center, it's going to do this, and then when I click on end, it's going to put it in the middle. But then we want the content to be justified in the center. So you can go here, start is at the top, center, and need to bring it down. So then this one comes into the center. When you click on end, it takes to the bottom. When I click on space in between, it will do this. When I click on space around, it will also do that. And then when you click on space evenly, to create space evenly between all the items. So what we want is in the middle. So we've done that. The next thing is to do the next round, which is bringing back this. So this is here and that is here. We need these two things. 1, 2. We already have our items here. If you remember how we did this, both of these items are aligned in the same row. So we're going to come here and say, okay, put this to, make this full width. And then you say, okay, make this into this direction. Okay, you want this to be in the middle, so both of them are in the middle. This text is what? Okay, let me close that so I can select the text. So this text says e-commerce, stuff like that. So you just want to fix the text. Then the text is 22, but 22 is too big. Just going to do 16, and then move this to probably 400. And then the color of this is more yellowish. So we're going to come in, look for the color, paste the color here. Good. Next one is this. Next one is a chat and a text. So we're going to look for a chat. I have my chat here. Pick that up. Now the text is, chat is open. I just copy it and paste it. So now with that, I'm just going to make the icon. How big is this icon again? Oh, 31. So let's try 31. Good. So 31 for the icon. So now we want, if you see, this is at the bottom of it, and this is probably goes at the bottom, but not all the way. What we can do is we can say, okay, take everything in this item, and then, if you remember, put it to, okay, this is a row, so it's going to be hard. But let's say you want everything to be, no, not this. Okay. Give me a second. Let me find this. Okay, this one's putting at the end. So for this, I'm selecting the wrong container, that's why. Okay, so put this at the end. Okay, so as you can see, so this is at the end. So this ought to be around here. And then this one also has to be around this spot. So what you're going to do is, first, you're going to say, click on this container. And then you're going to use absolute positioning. Say absolute. Takes it to the top. And then you make sure that you put it to the right. Then bring it down. Then we're going to move it. So, okay, so move over here. And then move it a bit up. Let's see how it looks. It's all the way up there, so you want to bring it a bit down. Okay, so that is that for almost. Yep, probably we might want to bring it a bit to the left. Okay, that was too much. I'll say, yeah, probably around there. Then we need this one too, so we're gonna say this. We go to settings and then we go to positioning, which is up here, and say absolute. And then you want to hit this to put it on the right, and then you hit this to put it at the bottom. And then we can just slide it around here. So good. Yeah, I'll say probably let's make this height a bit longer. Let's say 1,000. Then we can take this container and then take it all the way up. Not too much, but there. Good. And then also with the chat, you can say, okay, click on the chat. Sometimes this thing doesn't work for some reason. Okay, so that is a chat, and then that is the rating. So I'll say you are almost. Are you almost done? It looks like you're done. So this is a design that we made, that I made in XD, and then I used Elementor's powerful solution to make it. So side by side, if we go here, so they're the same thing that we've been able to make. So with the power of Flexbox and a tool like Elementor, you will be able to create such complex designs, whether with a button. So if you've seen people with really amazing buttons and then you want to create one, you can use a container and let's say a container plus a button that you have, and also an icon, and then you can just make sure that they come together just like how I did over here. And then if you put them together, they're gonna look as similar as that. I think I'm gonna make other videos where I'll be able to just use more of this to create different buttons, so you can see how this looks like. As you can see, this has a little bit of space around it, which doesn't make it look that good. So I'm gonna close it. Yeah, so close that. This looks good. Then this looks good. This looks good. This also looks good. And the design is nice. For something like this, you are able to pull client. And if you are a client that has a landing page like that, you are able to also let people understand what your product is. You have a very nice picture here, 2 really nice pictures, and really also nice call to action button where people can click, and if people want to chat, they can also click on this, and voila, you are making sales and enjoying your newfound business. I hope this was educational. You learned something. If you have any question, you can leave them in the comment below. And thank you. As always, I'm new to this YouTube channel. So, this is a chin YouTube thing. So, if you don't mind, you can give me a thumbs up and also subscribe. The name is Nyako, and this is OB Studios.